I'm not feeling so well. I think it was the double cheeseburger that I had today. When is the doctor coming to help me? I'm dying here. I can't take it any longer. Give me some good news. Tell me that the doctor is coming because I cannot, it's a lot of pain.
Oh
I need
dear,
something.
you're just gonna have to wait for the doctor until he comes. I told you so many times not to go to those fast food places, but you never listen to me. Why? I just don't understand. If I go to a place and I eat
Yes, it's
something
easy
that's
for you
bad
to
for
say
me,
because
I'm
you're
gonna
not the
get
one in
sick. I don't
pain.
wanna get
I
sick.
am.
I don't wanna be
Why do you have to be
having
like that
stomach
all the
aches.
time? Every time
I
that I'm
mean,
sick, you're
loose or
always
whatever,
arguing with me. I
happens.
don't understand your attitude.
Why?
You're supposed to be
I,
supportive,
you know,
not a
uh,
pain on the neck.
dear, just stop whining, please.
Okay, I'm gonna start this other tutorial. We're gonna work again in transferring or converting props from Iclone into CTA. And I'm gonna open up a package which is for a hospital. It's a hospital package. And I'm gonna drop, let's drop this piece of furniture, okay? We're gonna put it at the center. So we go reset, zero out. We're gonna get closer to that. Okay, so that's as close as I can get. And I think it's nice. Let's try to find an angle in which avatars can actually work with it. So I'm gonna use that angle, okay? So that's the first step we're gonna do is we're gonna use a toon shader. So we're gonna go here to the content. We're gonna go to on the right on the left hand panel. You're gonna go to the atmosphere, okay, or the stage. I'm sorry, the stage is the fourth icon from left to right. You're gonna press on the stage, and then you're gonna look under atmosphere. You're gonna look for the toon shader, which I have it right here, and we're gonna choose not the line art. We're not gonna choose this one. I already made a tutorial with this charcoal, and I liked the finished. We're gonna use this one, okay. When we click on that, you see that it already changed into a different color. It looks purple. We're gonna see the original color. I'm gonna go a step back, and you see this is not purple. This is actually white, okay. And the drawers are blue. So I'm gonna redo that. So we're gonna work with this. We're gonna try to make it look as it was before. And for that, we're gonna have to work and change some of the properties. So we're gonna select the furniture because it's not selected anymore. We're gonna go to the right hand panel, the third icon, which is from left to right, the third icon, which is a material icon. We're gonna click on that. We're gonna select the textures, which are already selected because I was working on another piece of furniture before. So those are selected, but if they're not selected, you have to select them. Make sure that you select the first square, which is the base color, okay? And we're gonna go down. The first thing we're gonna change is this one right here, the middle one that is black. That's the ambient color. We're gonna double click on that. It's gonna open up this, and we're gonna put it somewhere in the grayish area, okay? So we're gonna see how that's gonna affect this furniture. We're gonna click OK. It did not affect it. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step, we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna put the self-illumination all the way to 100, okay? You see, with the self-illumination, it already became white, okay? So let me go like that again so that we can see. So with the self-illumination, always remember to put self-illumination all the way to its maximum, which is 100, or to a value in which you think it's okay for you. The glossiness and the specular, we're gonna lower that to 0, both values. We don't want any of those. We're gonna add a glow, okay? So we're gonna double click on here, and I always like to use this glow, okay? So I'm gonna use that one. You can add whatever glow you like. You know, I personally, and especially for this kind of furniture and the colors that he has, I'm gonna add that one. And then we're gonna go down here to the strength. Let me move this. The strength, and we're gonna put a value of 10. Okay, always add a glow to give it that cartoonish kind of look. Now, I already told you that you can press on this icon right here, the one that looks like a lot of squares. Okay, this one right here. That's, what's the name of it? It's the adjust color, okay? You can work with this, but make sure you don't have the glow selected, okay? You have to have the other color selected. Now, unfortunately for this case, as you can see, for the diffuse, I said it was a base color, but it's a diffuse. The diffuse, it doesn't have any textures, okay? And since it doesn't have any textures, it's not going to affect anything. So we're going to select each of the maps that make this piece of furniture. This is for the side table, and this one is the one that has a texture. So this one is the one that's actually going to be modified. The other one is not going to be modified because it doesn't have any texture. So the one that has textures, we can select it, and we can go here to the adjust color again. Press on that. Well, I already got it open. I closed it. Okay. You can either saturate the color all the way up in saturation, go all the way up. It's going to make it look a little bit more toonish, you see, because it's more intense, the color, as a, you know, as a cartoons. If you want to do that, you can go ahead and do it, okay? We already selected, remember, the tone shader, which is the first one from top to bottom. And that's the blue shade, okay? And that's what we selected. We're going to be working with that. Now, we are going to change, we're going to give it a contour line, a black contour line. And for that, we're going to go to the visual tab, which is the third tab, you know, from top to bottom. We go to the visual tab, and then over here on these icons at the top, we're going to go to the third icon, which is a tone shader icon. As we can see, it's already selected and it's already open because I was already, like I told you before, I was working on another furniture. So I'm going to amplify the screen a little bit, and we're going to check the values right now, okay? As you can see, this is the H width, which is what we pretty much want, and we have a base color for that, which is this one is black. So we're going to increase that, or just do it all the way, okay? Just go ahead and do all the way. As you can see, nothing happened, okay? Now we're going to go to, let me try to select both. I don't even think it really matters. Let me not select anything. Okay. We're going to go to the H intensity. Okay, that was the H width, the H intensity right now. And as you can see, the H intensity actually did something. So we're going to put a value at 100, and we're going to lower the value for the H width. Okay, because since we didn't have an H, so it doesn't matter whether we increase or decrease that width. We need to have an H to increase it or decrease it. Now that we have it, we can lower the value. Okay, and as you can see, and then just move the value to something that you like. Okay, if you put it all the way to 0, then it's not going to show anything. So I'm going to put a value, in this case I'm going to work with a value of 3 because it looks nice. Okay, I'm going to leave it at 3, and then we're going to go here to the normal threshold, and the value is at 50. So let's see what the normal threshold is going to do for this piece of furniture. Okay, I'm going to put it over here so that we can actually see. I'm going to put it all the way to 100 so that you can see what it does. And if I lower that, it's going to increase the H even a little bit more in a more defined way. And I'm going to show you why, because this one, the maximum value that you can get over here, we're at 3 right now, it's 5, okay? So you have 4, you have 5. But it's a little bit too grotesque, you know, it's like too intense. So this one is going to give you a more, a smoother definition for the line, okay? So if you want to smooth it out, per se, you are going to have to use this slider, okay? To make it more intense, less intense, to something that you can actually go. And this one will give you up to 100, so you have more a flexibility, okay, in the kind of value that you want and how intense you want the line, okay? All right, so we go down, and what we're gonna select over here is implementation. Let me select implementation. Did you see what it did? I don't know if you saw any changes. Okay, but it kind of affects the color of the item. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna leave this at 15, I think. 15. Yeah, or it's a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of cartoonish looking. Okay. And I think that's all you need to do here, okay? You don't have to do any more modifications. Now we're gonna do a render to see how this is gonna look like. I'm gonna center that. I'm gonna try to narrow the width. So we're gonna open up the render, and we're gonna go to video. Okay, make sure you select video, and no, well, actually you select image because these are going to be images. So you're going to select image, and it's going to be a PNG image so that you can get a transparent background. And make sure that to have a transparent background, you go to this cog wheel, you press on that, and make sure that this here is deactivated, not activated. If you activate it, you're going to get a background, okay? Make sure it's not selected, okay? So once that's done, you can go over here, and then we're gonna see. I don't remember which one is the width. I think it's this is a width. Let me go to 500. Yeah, that's the width, and 500 to 500 maybe. There you go. Okay, we can lower that a little bit more to 300. 300 by 300. Wow. Okay, yeah, it's okay, because now I can do a close-up of the furniture. Okay, because we don't want this square too big, because if it's too big, when you drop it into the scene or into CTA, you're gonna have you know, when you try to rescale this, you know, to scale it, it's gonna occupy, you know, a lot of space per se. Not that it really matters, but it's gonna be a little bit harder for you just to put it in the place where you want it. You know, just just to make it easier, you know, for you to be able to work with, you know, in a scene. Let me go to, I think this is 150. We're gonna go to 150, and that we're gonna make it 200. Okay, there you go. I think it looks best. So the dimensions I'm using right here, this is pretty much the width. The first one, 150 by 200. Okay, I can do it 150 by 150. Let's see how that's gonna look like. I think, yeah, it's looking much better. Okay. Yeah, I can leave it as it is right now. Okay, now we are going to, let me get out of here. Okay, so we have our piece of furniture. Now we're gonna render that. I'm sorry, I had to close this so that I could see the screen. We go down. We want to make sure that we select the super sampling. Well, I usually do, and 3 by 3, and that's pretty much everything that I need over here. The kind of image is a PNG. Remember, choose your dimensions for the kind of object that you want to transfer to CTA, and then we're going to export it, and we're going to put it's hospital CTA for hospital furniture. It's a little bit too small. Yeah, because of the dimensions. Yeah, we don't want that. If we make it too small, yeah, I'm gonna have to choose a bigger dimension. Okay. You know, this is how you learn. You know, you have to try it. So let's try 500, or, you know, We're gonna try 600 by 600 to here. Okay, that's bigger. So let's export this, and we're gonna choose that again. Yes, of course. Yeah, now that's better. Now we're gonna drop that piece of furniture into CTA. Let me just open up that folder. Okay, CTA hospital, there you go. I'm gonna minimize Iclone. We're gonna drop that into CTA, which is this one right here. We're gonna drop it as a prop. There you go. And you can see we have the first piece of furniture for a hospital, and that definition, you know, the qualities are really nice quality. And this is one example. So I'm gonna do a couple more examples, and I'm gonna pretty much assembly, you know, the hospital bedroom, and then I'm gonna show you the final render or the final project or scene. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I want to show you something else because I forgot to tell you. You see, I'm already doing this modification for the garbage bin. And one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to amplify the screen so that you can see. You see how this looks like a little bit like jagged edges per se, or, you know, like more, I don't know, sharp edges. So how are we gonna fix that? Okay, the way we can fix that, and I forgot to tell you this, I think, in my opinion, if you're an Iclone user and you want a better render, you know, in your final render, you want it to be better. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over here. Okay, it's gonna be the first icon on the right hand panel. That's I think it's the attributes. Let me see. Yeah, it's the attribute icon. Okay, so you go to the first one, and then you're gonna go all the way down. Well, not all the way down. You're gonna go over here to this area. You're gonna click on that. Okay, let me amplify the screen. Okay, as you can see, I clicked on it already, and the edge smoothed out more than what it was before. Okay, you see? That's for the smooth mesh. Okay, so you want to smooth the mesh. I would recommend to do that with avatars, with clothing, with, you know, when you smooth the mesh, especially if you're working in Iclone, it's going to slow down your computer. So make sure that when you select the subdivision, which is also something that I'm gonna, you see, we selected the subdivision, and it's even better. It's looking even better. So if you want to see how it looks like in the preview, because we're in the preview right now, okay, you can go all the way up. If you have a fast computer, you don't have to worry because it's not gonna make it slower. I have a fast computer, so I don't worry too much. But I used to have a computer that was not as fast, and it was just a nightmare, okay? So I would not even touch it. I would not even dare to touch it. I would just touch it for the final render. I would make sure this would be all the way down, okay, when I didn't have a fast computer. And then I would just make sure this would be all the way up to the final render. So the final render, how is the final render going to look like? Well, you need to, for the preview, you need to move it all the way up, and then you'll know how it is going to look like in the final render. This is how it's going to look like, you know, in the final render. So, and I'm ready to render this, okay, object, which is the garbage bin. And okay, we're gonna go ahead and render it because I already have the render settings ready. Just export, and gonna put CTA4 because it's a CTA4 component, hospital garbage bin. Okay, and that's how it's gonna look like. We're gonna drop that into Iclone. As you can see, I made different renders for the furniture, the piece of furniture, okay, at different angles. Just, you know, if you want to use it, whether it's this angle, or that angle, you can go ahead. I didn't do it for the bed. I should have done it, you know, but I didn't. So I'm gonna drop that into CTA4. Okay, Come on. Okay. Now we can go put it right here as a prop. And there it is. Okay, my garbage bin. I'm gonna put it right here to the side of the furniture. And we're gonna drop the bed as well. I'm gonna, like I told you, I'm gonna start doing all these pieces, okay? And you know what? I'm gonna mention that I was actually looking for tutorials just out of curiosity, you know, if anyone made any tutorials of how to transfer props of Iclone into CTA, okay? And I have not found any tutorials. Probably there's some, you know, but maybe because people don't click on them too much, like my tutorials, you know, not many people click on them. So probably they're not as popular, you know, because if a lot of people clicked on them, probably it would be easier to find them, you know, because then it goes into the search engine and then people will be able to find them quickly, you know. I'm not going to say I'm the only one who thought about this, you know, but so far, you know, I haven't found anyone, you know, who has any tutorials. Like if I want to put the bed over here and then the piece of furniture at the front of the bed, you know, I can do it like that, you see. Remember, this is a two-dimensional, and remember that you can move the components. You just go over here to the top, press on this icon, and then you're gonna press on this right here to rotate, and then you can place the components whatever you want. Okay, the bed in this case is gonna be behind the furniture so that it gives a more a two-dimensional, okay, kind of look. All right. But if I wanted, obviously, if I wanted that to be at the back, you know, I can do that, you know. Anyways, I'm going to continue doing this. And like I told you, I'm going to assemble the bedroom, the hospital bedroom. And then I'm going to come back and show you the end result. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I want to mention something real quick. I'm doing this prop, and because it's a very long prop in regards to the shaft, it's not very convenient to put a glow. That's one of the things. I put a glow, but I decided just to not to actually have it. You know, it's at 0 right now, but I can get rid of it. And then in the tune shader, I had to pretty much move these values again because I had them, you know, for each prop, and I didn't have to move the values. But because this one was at 100, okay, and I want to show you what's going to happen if I put it at 100 value. So all the maximum. So it's going to make it dark, and I don't want it, I don't want the prop to look like that, you know. So I'm going to put a value of 80 and just leave it as it is. Can put probably a 70. You know, I don't want to lose the contour line for the dark, you know, the black. I want it to be okay. So this one, I'm going to get rid of that. Just give me a second because it's kind of bothering me. Okay. Yeah, because if I increase the value, you see it's going to be shining like if it was a light bulb, and it's not a light bulb. So it's going to be at 0, okay? And for this one, the last thing I need to do is the saturation, and I'm going to increase the saturation to see how that's going to look like. Wow, it's looking better. So for the saturation, I went all the way to 100, okay? Yeah, because actually the legs are blue. That's how the prop looks like. So I think I'm gonna leave it as it is right now, and I'm gonna save it. I just wanted to mention that to you so that you know that not all the time, you know, once you have these settings, you just drop the props and work with those settings until you see what you saw right now, that it's very dark and you don't see any definition really, you know, like you don't see the shaft or things like that. If it's something that's long or whatever, you know, that you're losing the lines because of the blackness or the darkness, you know, the contour line, then just play again with the properties until you get something that you are satisfied with, okay? And remember, one of the things that I mentioned before, it's that in the attributes section on the right hand panel, the first icon, you go all the way down to over here, okay? And this is what you need to increase, okay, all the way. The preview is going to give you how it's going to look like, you know, in your window, which is this one that you're looking at right now. And then you need to make sure that you put the level for the final render, which is something that you won't see. That's when it's rendering, you know, the image or the video. Make sure it's at a maximum of 3, okay? And that's pretty much everything. I'm almost done, and I'm gonna be right back once I finish this scene. And I'm gonna share this scene with you so that you can have it. It's for free. I could actually sell these packages. I mean, they're run for $30, 20 to $60, or so, depending on the kind of package and if it's one or two packages or so. So I could be selling these, the marketplace. I personally don't want to do that. I just want to help you guys to populate your content, and I want to show you this. There's no tutorials on how to do this and how to transfer this into CTA, at least not that I've seen. But I do not doubt that probably there's people, maybe even Revolution, who have done tutorials like this. But I just want to let you know, this is one thing that I just thought about, and I just started messing around with tools that Iclone allows me to use to make a tune animation, and it's just rendering the pictures, and that's pretty much everything, dragging and dropping those pictures into CTA. I'll be right back. Okay, another thing, guys. I told you to go on this section, and activate this, okay? And then go all the way, to see in the preview window how it's gonna look like. So this is gonna sharpen the edges. Sometimes when the edges are not sharpened, you can't see the contour line of the blackness, of the color black, So the outline. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna see how this is gonna look like in the final render. So if you render it all the way, to give you the best quality to the final render, that's how it's gonna look like. So make sure that the final render is at 0, and make sure this is at 0 too. Okay, that's not the case for every prop. Okay, some props are gonna look like that, and that's the reason why you need to see in the preview, because this is gonna give it a sharpness and a better quality, for the render, for the final render. But if you don't see that happening, then lower it all the way down to 0. That's for once again, this is for Iclone users who want to make packages for CTA, CTA 4, CTA 5, or whatever CTA you have. As long as it's compatible with the version of Iclone that you have. I have Iclone 7.9, which is compatible with CTA 4, and that's the version that I'm using right now. Okay, I'm gonna continue doing the conversions, and I'll be back. Okay, whatever I see, if I find something else that you need to know, then I'll let you know. Okay, guys, I finished doing all the conversion from Iclone to CTA for the hospital package. And this is pretty much Iclone, except for the walls, the window, the floor, everything else, and the furniture that's right there, the cabinet. Everything else, it's from Iclone, okay? It's not all the content, because I don't actually need to populate this bedroom or this hospital bedroom. I have many things, that I can put in there, but I just for the sake of keeping it clean, I'm just going to leave it as it is right now. So we have like this furniture over here. I don't know if you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to move it a little bit forward right here, because we have the red outline right here, which is the camera. If the camera wasn't there, then you would be able to see it right there. Okay. And you can see the garbage bin, which is over here. So I'm going to move it forward as well, just for me to show it in the shot. Okay. I want to show you something. The garbage bin, you see this one right here on the left. This one right here. This one that's on the left. I actually made it, I cut it into parts so that I can actually put some trash inside and give it that effect. Otherwise, I won't, like if you want to put trash in here, it won't go in per se, because it's just one image and it's flat. So let me show you. We're almost done, okay? We are at the end of this tutorial. Let me show you one thing over here, okay? For the garbage bin, it's right here, okay? And it's this one right here. So we have the garbage. This is the main one. The main one is the main body, okay? So I'm gonna get the lid. The lid is supposed to be that one, which is not. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try to get, probably yeah, okay. This is the lid, okay? If I was to hide all this, you're gonna see that this is just a curve and it's empty. It doesn't have anything, so I'm gonna put it back to where it belonged. And yeah, this is the lid. Let me put it, because I put it main and it's not the main, it's the lid. Or it's not even the lid, it's just the other side of the garbage. Okay, it's a depth. I'm gonna put it depth. Okay, and this is the main. Garbage bin, main. Okay, that's the main. Okay, so everything is linked to the main garbage. So if I move it around, it's gonna move with all the contents, because all the contents that I put in here, you know, like I have the bottle of medicine. Let me see, I'm like this medicine box. Okay, the medicine box, you see, I just put it in there and I linked it. Okay, you have the link over here at the top. It's this one right here. Okay, you see it's link, and it's got the link. Another thing that I did is this effect for the window, and let me show you why. Because the window, let me find the window, which is right here. Okay, but everything is with a picture frame. Okay, it's not a picture frame, I'm sorry, it's a window frame. Okay, okay, the window frame. Okay, if I move the window frame, it moves around, but it's actually three pieces. It's the glass, it's the window frame, and it's a picture at the back, which is a landscape. So let me show you over here. I have the landscape. You can put whatever picture you want. You know, if you want to put like a kids playing or even a video, you can put a video behind it. And if you want to, you know, like the video has any kids playing or whatever you have, it's going to be showing that, you know, behind that. So you see that's how it looks like. Now the window, the glass, one of the things about the glass is that I use the opacity for the glass. So if we change the properties of the opacity of the glass, right now it's at that value, but if I put it like a 10, okay, it's almost like it doesn't have a glass in there. So if I put it at 50, you can see that it looks a little bit like, well, it actually gives it the effect of the window. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, what else? Another thing is that you have to make sure that the distance between the objects is in a way that you can actually play the scene. Okay, and let me see, let me show you. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go out or pull back so that I can see the entire scene, because yeah, you see, it's just that I put it so way behind, you know. I shouldn't do that, you know, but I could arrange this right now, looking at this, you know, in this view. Okay, but I'm not gonna do it because I already spent too much time in this, you know. I just wanted to show you that you need to place these objects in a way in which you have that depth, you see. It's like, here's a picture that I told you about. That's the window. This is just an image. The floor is just a flat image. It's like if it was another wall per se. And speaking about walls, I want to show you something in the content that I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay, because in the content you're gonna find the walls, a folder for the walls. Let me see, the wall is right here. You have this, the wall and the floor. Okay, I made this one so that you can actually create your own bedrooms. Okay, and I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna make this a little bit longer because, you know, I want to show you everything in the same package per se, so that you can modify your package to whatever you want. You also have this one, these images. Okay, that's a hallway, and you have this other image. which is also part of the bedroom, okay, but with the door, okay, or it can be just like if you were walking, you know, in the hallway and then just were passing the doors, you know. Okay, so that's for the hospital. And let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna create a new scene, and I'm gonna show you real quick how to create a bedroom, or yeah, any kind of bedroom. It doesn't have to be a hospital bedroom. It can be a bedroom of a house, like if you're making your own scene, you know, and then you want to create your own bedroom. I'm gonna show you how to create it real quick with the elements that I showed you for the hospital. Okay, I'll be right back. Well guys, I decided to make a tutorial for how to create rooms, but not in this one because it's going to be long, as it is already 30 minutes. I'm going to cut it, you know, once I edit this video. But I want to show you something. If you want to add like a wallpaper to your scene, okay, to the walls of your scene, then just browse the internet and try to find images, you know, that you like. In this case, you know, I found this image, I like it, and I saved it, and I'm gonna show you the image in my folder. Okay, it's right in this folder. So that's the image. Now I'm gonna use it as a wallpaper for the hospital. Okay, so we're gonna go to the scene of the hospital. I already started putting it, and I'm gonna show you. This is the original one, the one at the left. Okay, and all the other ones is the same one pretty much. The only thing is I changed the opacity. Okay, so I selected on the right hand panel, and I think it's a scene manager. I selected each one of them and I lowered the opacity. Okay, so in the scene manager I selected each one of them and I started lowering the opacity. The opacity I put it at 50, I believe. So I'm just going to change the opacity to 50. It's at 150, and that's how it's going to look like. Okay, and that's a way in which you can create your own scenes, you know. You can even use this kind of pattern of wallpaper for just to make a wall, and start creating your own scene. Now let me show you one more thing. I hope I can do it correctly because it's not easy to do those kinds of walls that are diagonal in a way. So I'm gonna put this one right here. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to make it diagonal, okay, to go with the wall. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on the image. Let me see. Gonna right click on the image, and we're gonna go to the prop key editor, and we're gonna go to the deform, okay, which is the right one, and then we're gonna select the points that we want to modify. I'm gonna select this, all of this, and I'm gonna pull them down like this. Okay, as you can see, starting to deform, and then I'm gonna just select the ones at the end, if I can grab it. It's hard for me to grab it right now because let me see, let me close this, because it's behind the props. Okay, now let's go back again, prop key editor, deform. Okay, we're gonna select that and we're gonna move these ones down. Okay, and we're gonna put that, let me see, we're gonna move them a little bit more, something like that, and down. It's not gonna be the best, you know, but you can spend time trying to make it perfect if you want, or you can take your editor, you know, you can, like in my case would be Adobe Photoshop, and the reason why is because I wanna match it, you know, to the wall over here in a way. but I need to make it a little bit bigger, something like that. Okay, and then I would need to keep pulling it down. Okay, that's what I would need to do. Another way, is like I have Adobe Photoshop over here. So let me open this up in Adobe Photoshop. I'm gonna do it real quick. It's not gonna be a perfect job, but just to give you the idea, that's what I want. I want to give you an idea. Okay, let me close this window. I think I'm gonna open Adobe Photoshop right here. Oh, it's because it was closed. Okay, no wonder it was not gonna open anything. Yeah, no, we don't want that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna drop it into Adobe. Come on. Oh, come on. You're making it so hard. Okay, there it goes. I'm gonna select the image. Well, to zoom out. Now I'm gonna select the image. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna copy and paste or duplicate the image, whichever is easier for you. I'm gonna change the canvas size, okay? And the reason why I'm gonna do that is because I'm gonna distort the image. So image and canvas size, I'm gonna increase the height and the width. So the values I have right now are 13. I'm gonna put the value that's for the width to, I'm just gonna make it real big, 20, and then, oh, forgot the height. The height, I'm gonna make it 22, just to have enough space. Then I'm gonna select my image, which is right there, and I'm gonna go to the transform in my edit transform, and I'm gonna skew. I think that's the one. I'm not sure if it's the one that I want to use. I'll see in a moment. Yeah, well, actually, transform, and we want to distort. Okay, and we're gonna pull it down like that. This one is even better, you see, because this one does keep the straight line. I'm gonna hide that layer. Well, actually I can right now. Okay, just gonna leave it as it right now. I'm gonna delete that image at the bottom on the other layer right there, and then we go here, we're gonna move that image. There it is. I believe that's gonna work. Probably I'm not gonna have to do many modifications, when I transfer that. Then I can, I'm gonna pull it a little bit more. We're gonna go to the distort again. That's the one I was using, distort. And a little bit lower, a little bit, yeah. Something like that. Okay, there we go. Oh, I forgot to pull the top too. If I don't pull the top, it's gonna distort it, but it's not gonna be even. Not as much. Actually, no, it's not giving it to me. Okay. Something like that. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna save it. I'm just gonna save it as it is right now. I'm not gonna get rid of it. This is gonna be for modify wallpaper. Modify wallpaper. Okay. Now we can save it as a PNG. my mouse is not working properly, so there you go. Okay, now we can open that folder again, this one right here, and here we have the image. Let's drop it into CTA as a prop. Okay, we're gonna get out. And you see my mouse is not working well, so the cursor is not doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm gonna lower this, I'm gonna make it smaller if I can, because my cursor is not working properly. So there it goes. Yep, it's looking much better. Yep. I'm not gonna spend more time because that tutorial is getting longer. So I'm gonna get rid of the previous one. I believe it's this one right here. No, actually it's gonna be this one right here. Okay, that's the previous one. Hopefully, if I did it correctly. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna place this one right here. It's not gonna be perfect, like I said, guys, because my mouse is not working well. That's one thing, and then I don't want to spend more time, because the tutorial is already long. It was not meant to be that long, but it takes what it takes in regards to time. So I'm gonna lower the opacity to 50, and there we have it. And with this I finished this tutorial. I'm not gonna do the other one over here, but if I wanted to do the other part, well, I might as well just go ahead and do it. Just press the Control key in your keyboard and drag it, and it's gonna make a copy of it. And then we're gonna go to the top bar right here, and we're gonna these two arrows that are pointing towards each other. We're gonna press them, and it's gonna flip it, and then we just place it on the other side. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be even, but I can distort it over here, using the tools. The key editor, there we go. And then we can distort this, we can bring it down. Okay, the thing is I didn't pull it out. I should have done that first. Okay, we're gonna pull this out first. Okay, there you go. Okay, the prop editor, we're in the deform. We just pull these ones in the middle, because the other ones at the back, they're not going to be showing in the screen. So it doesn't really matter, whether I pull them or not. They're not going to show. Okay, I forgot to lower that because I made it too big, and that's the reason why another problem there. Okay, yeah, okay, I can pull it down. Yeah, only can pull it down too, and that one I don't have to. Like I told you, it's not gonna show anyways, but just for the sake of trying to make it a little bit neat because of the diagonal in the wall. You can do this in your own editor, and then just bring the image here. So that's more or less. And with this I finish this tutorial. Thank you for watching.